So we're here today for a slideshow. Teresa, are you ready for the slideshow?
I am. What is it about?
Well, it's about our retreat. I finally got a few of the pictures. Like, we didn't take a ton of photos while we were up there, obviously, because of the event and what, the space that people were kind of moving and going through, and it didn't feel appropriate, right, to just bust out a camera like they're on reality TV.
Right.
But we did take some great photos, and I want to share those with everybody today. And then we'll talk about our open house. And I guess we're not going to call it an open house. We're calling it a sneak preview.
Yes.
And our next retreat. So let's get to some of the photos, and where you and I'll just disappear in the background. But what do you think about when you see that pen now?
Healing, community, campfire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you told me that it was powerful, and it's not like you didn't believe you, but I just didn't understand how powerful it was going to be.
Yep, it's hard to put in words. Every time I try and explain it, they're like, what do you mean therapy? You watch a trainer work with a horse. I'm like, just wait. You have to experience it. And that's the little piece that we're going to demonstrate at the sneak preview.
All right, here's another photo. This is thumbs up, Teresa.
My favorite part is leading the movement session.
Yeah, you like it. You're militant about it. It's like, you must be in the right position. You go over there, you move people. I love it. It's freaking great because you know how important the right posture is.
Yes, especially with the intention of moving energy and bringing emotions to the surface. That's the whole way I created this session, is to help them get in their bodies to feel connected and prepare them for the experiences the rest of the day.
Okay, here comes one of 3 or 4 of my favorite photos from the retreat. Okay. And I mostly, they say a picture can, tell a story. And if this one doesn't, then I don't know what, but there's a lot of power in that photo right there. I mean, just the look in your eyes, the focus, the determination, the being connected to those 2 people next to you. I mean, we were in a big ring with 6 or 7 people, I think, were in that particular ring right there. Yeah. What are you thinking about in that moment?
For me, it's really bringing the community. That's why I love doing that particular tree pose in a circular with a group. And depending on who I'm working with, there's different intentions behind it. So for this retreat is to feel they can feel connected to each other. And when we're in tree pose, we all try and find balance in our lives, but sometimes it's hard to be balanced and keep ourselves up. That's why we have to, when we're feeling off balance, that's why we have to feel the person next to us and rely on them and lean on them. So that's when I have them close their eyes when we're in that pose, and they start to feel the movement and the shifts, and they feel the energy in their hands of how the other person next to them is supporting them. Amazing.
Here's a photo that I am so happy we took, mostly because we call it the Grief Relief Retreat. And so on paper, you might think like, oh, all right, I guess I'm going to go up here and cry for 6 or 7 hours straight. But
I don't even remember what I was laughing about. But again, I was in the moment we're doing partner poses right here.
Yeah.
It's building trust and communication. So there's, again, intentionality between when you're doing partner work versus your group pose, is you have to learn to communicate, check in with that person you're working with, and trust them depending on what pose we're doing. But I don't remember why I was belly laughing what we were doing there.
Yeah, so good. Here's another one of my 3 to 5 favorites. And again, the partner work that you did with people, it felt like it was really grounding for them. And then also, simultaneously, you were creating some movement so they could kind of start to loosen up a little bit. And so, yeah, it was just a really great way to start the day. So bravo to you.
Thank you. Yes, it's that. Yes, when you're working with a partner, there's a lot that goes on. And even who I was working with in this particular pose, what she said, the feedback she gave us was, I was surprised that I was laughing and having fun when we were doing the partner work.
Love it. All right, here we go. Listen, I know you and I are important, and yes, we definitely brought some things to the table, but the star of the show was definitely Rob. There he is leading his equine therapy session. Here's him looking like a total cowboy. Here's Rob leading Adara out to that pen that we showed you guys just a couple of minutes ago. Man, look at that beautiful horse.
For everybody, including Rob. He, in the moment when he was leading that session, he actually broke down and cried, and he was not expecting it. And because of the community and all the sharing and how we were connecting with each other, he said that was the first time that he was able to cry and grieve his mom who passed away within the last year.
This moment right here where Adara comes up and gave him those little kisses, those little licks. You can see her tongue coming out, right?
Yeah.
And it was just so amazing how much of ourselves, and I think I even verbalized this when we were there. It was like, how many times in our life, this is what the session spoke to me on, was how many times in our life are there really, really super awesome people that are just trying to help us? And we literally turn our ass to them and we say, I'm not interested. Like, I don't want your help. And that's freaking amazing. Like, to get that little revelation from Rob working with Adara was super powerful for me. Was there anything about that session that you took away?
There's always in these sessions. But like you said in that moment, but leading up to that point where he was able to do that, we're not showing the process, but it was a lot about his communication, building trust, building patterns that he could go in and do that, right? So for me, that's like, how do I intentionally engage with people and how do I communicate with them, right? You kind of put pressure on and then you back off and then you wait for them to come into your space. And that's exactly what happened with Adara. He had built that pattern and working with her, and she came in and she did that on her own.
I know. Awesome stuff. Okay, really quick, let's tell everybody we've got a little sneak preview that's coming up in November. You want to shoot over some details for everybody and give them an idea what to expect?
Yeah, so it's going to be November 18th from 10 to 11 in the morning in North Scottsdale on the Rite of Passage property. So that's at Rob's house. This is where he leads these equine therapy, and this is where we host the the grief relief retreat. So our next one is going to be December 8th. But we wanted to host this sneak preview so that people can come see the property, meet us, the crew, and also get a little taste. We're going to do a short 20-minute presentation of how equine therapy works that Rob's going to lead. So you guys will get a little taste of all of that. And then for those who attend, they get a significant discount to our next retreat if that's something that speaks to you.
Cool. Yeah, speaking of the healers, here's a couple of them right there. That was our little pre-river ceremony. Jill and I kind of led people through a little bit of an exercise and what they could expect when they got down to the river. And then there we are down at that river. Man, we found like the most perfect spot, didn't we? Damn.
Oh, yeah, it was beautiful. There's so many elements to that, right? And we don't get to see, but right there's where kind of rapids were moving. And then on the other side is where there was stagnant water. And we both had different interpretations of what that meant to us. For you, you're like, you get caught up in the rapids and the busy of stuff, and you liked the stillness. For me, because of what I've been going through, how I saw it was the stagnant water represented me being stuck. And the rapids was me being in flow. And I was so drawn to the rapids, and I just kept watching it because I've done so much work the past 6 months that it's like, I'm going into flow, and I love the feel of it and how it just moves. But we both completely interpret it completely different.
Completely different. I know. Isn't that awesome? We went back to the house. We had delicious dinner. Rob made an amazing campfire for everybody. And Teresa laughed by the campfire. Jill spoke by the campfire. Rob looked like a cowboy at the campfire. It was a sensational day, and I think if there was a single takeaway from me, it was that we can enjoy the process of healing. It doesn't have to be this horrible, horrific, awful event. Like going to a grief relief retreat where somebody is working with you to help you, kind of work through some emotions and set some things down. Like, I'm not joking when I say this. I, in my heart, believe there were equal parts to crying and laughing. You think I'm crazy to say that?
No, not at all. Not at all. And as us leading it, I feel like I took away more than I anticipated too, and everybody who showed up, right? So we had our follow-up Zoom after a week after. So part of this is you get to have a time with us before and after the retreat, and we got great feedback. And they were saying as they were driving away from the retreat, they were so grateful for this new group of support, that they didn't feel alone, that they had somebody to go through this with, and they have new tools now to move forward in dealing with the grief. And what were some of the things that you heard when we had our follow-up Zoom call?
Most just couldn't wait to get out of there. They were, no, I'm just kidding. It was a lot about, like, I feel relief. I mean, we use that word, you know, purposefully, because that's kind of that's what we want people to feel when they walked away. But interestingly, a lot of them also used words like motivated, energized. So, you know, that was cool too, right? It was like, not only, and listen, they were tired by the end of the day. There's no way around it, because when you drop off that much stuff, like, your body needs to sleep. And so all of them were exhausted. They just wanted to go home and get to bed. But the next day they said they all woke up like energized and motivated, like I just said.
And even showing up for themselves in a whole other way a week following, right?
Right.
Saying no to things they know they should have been saying no, but they had the motivation and willpower to. And then saying yes and actually following through and going to things to help support them in self-care.
Yeah. Well, listen, friends, we hope you've enjoyed our slideshow. Like she just said, we've got a sneak preview and our next retreat coming up. You want to shout out the dates really quick, just in case anybody missed it the first time?
Yes. So the next retreat is December 8th. And the open house, sneak preview.
Yeah, right. We just changed the language before this meeting, so it's going to take us a minute to get used to it.
It's November 18th from 10 to 11 a.m. And we'll have a link with all of, like, to be able to reserve your spot and to come be a part of the sneak preview. Yeah,
and here's a cool part about the sneak preview open house. Maybe we'll just call it all the things, is that we will be offering some generous discounts if you sign up that day. So details in the link to the video, which is, you know, off to the left or the right, depending on which platform. Our guest down below, depending on which platform you're looking at this on. And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Teresa.
Yep. Thank you, Matthew.